Quick, check all around you. Check the floorboards, check the ceilings, check outside. There might be some random weirdo with binoculars checking on you. Make sure there's no one watching you right now, okay? Because this show is sus. And I'm not kidding. Yo, we opened with a panty shot of a minor. If that tells you anything about what the show's about to be like. Oh, Mr. Recap, it's Japan. Minors work different over there. It's the same age, whether they're in Japan or the United States. But I'm getting ahead of myself here, all right? This anime is set in Japan, but we open near the border of Mongolia, China, 30 years ago. We see a beautiful valley and the appearance of what seems to be a cyclone. Said cyclone touches down and suddenly leaves a wake of destruction across the valley and into the cities and is visible from space. The phenomenon, which is named Spacequake, claims the lives of 150 million people. And then we move to the panty shot. Yeah, that's wow, only an anime, guys. So this panty shot belongs to what seems to be a younger sister trying to wake her Oni-chan up in the worst way possible. The young girl is named Itsuka Kotori, and the younger sister of our main C, Shido Itsuka. After a few more panty shots and a drop kick on Shido, which was masterfully executed, by the way, they settle in for breakfast. The space quakes have been occurring more, although in smaller scales, thankfully. Shido resides in the South Kanto Void Zone, where the phenomenon has been occurring rather too frequently. After promising his sister dinner at her favorite diner, we have the first view of the support characters. The trio I, My, and Me, they get annoying pretty quickly. There's also the MC's best friend, Tonomochi, who apparently has the hots for guys. No, that's not how I would describe him. He has the hots for 2D women. Yeah. Oh, and there's a girl peeping on them. And in the class before homeroom, we meet said peeping girl, Tobiichi Origami, a top beauty and a popular girl at school. She seems to know about Shido, but he doesn't seem to know anything about her. So that's sus. School closes and Shido's about to leave when the spacequake alarm goes off. That's very convenient that that's a thing. The students are evacuating to the nearest shelter, and Shido worries if Kotori evacuated. After looking up her location, he discovers she probably would still be at the diner. He rushes out to go look for her while chanting her name. Oh, man. Siscon alert. He's just worried about his sister. No, he's a siscon. He's a siscon. As he continues the search, the quake occurs and he notices a crater and a girl brandishing a huge cloud sword and dressed in a ball attire. She pulls out the sword and launches an attack that narrowly misses him and destroys a building. She points the blade at him and asks if he's there to kill her. My man is rightfully shook and he says he can't kill her. You can't really kill someone like that. She's surprised, and I think I heard a heart thump over there for a bit. Their eye-to-eye moment is cut short by the approach of girls wearing bikini armor, packed with rockets. Said rockets are fired at the girl with the sword and Shido, but our sword-wielding baddie stops the Matrix style. She probably took the blue pill. Did I really just make a Matrix reference in 2022? One of the bikini warriors turns out to be the frickin' Origami. Origami and the girl duke it out with swords, creating a flash of light that renders Shido blind. More, okay, unconscious, blind, maybe blind too, I don't know. We see the lips of a woman telling him that she won't leave him alone. Sounds cute, right? Yeah, but the creepy voice ain't helping. Shido then wakes up in Fraxinus's medical room. With him is Murasame Reine, an unlicensed medical person who can administer basic treatment. Hey, that's what she said, not me. Anyway, the frickin' Shido wants to find his sister again. Reine tells him to calm down and talk to her commander. Also, what the frick is Fraxinus? We're just gonna wipe past that. Shido is taken to Command Central, where the knee-high socks wearing commander turns out to be his younger sister himself with a lollipop licking fetish. I mean, she licks lollipops. Gosh dang it. She's gonna be doing that a lot in this show. I should probably mention that the second in command is a young man who seems to be enjoyed being stepped on by his underage commander. Again, only anime. I literally cannot think of anything else, any other medium in which I would see something like this. She explains to him that the Matrix girl was actually a monster called a spirit that causes spirit quakes. Spirit causes quakes. All right, that's easy to remember. Kotori tells him that they needed his help to stop those spirits from killing everything. Okay, but what the frick is he gonna do? The following day, Reine transfers into Shido's school. No, not as a student, but as a physical education teacher. She can teach me about physical education. Up top. I never get any high fives, dude. Ah, freak, there's the slap again. Reine and Kotori decide to explain how Shido can help stop the spirits by making him play a gal game with a weird title. Basically, they want him to date the spirits rather than kill them, because love conquers all, including space monster girls. Afterwards, Shido and Origami are on the stairs when she professes her love. Just kidding! She doesn't forget about the previous incident, including the spirits. Apparently, the spirits killed her parents 5 years ago, and she's been on the hunt ever since. Now, we have a little sister in a spacesuit costume who's desperately begging her brother to stop seeing her as a little sister and more as a woman. Fucking hold your horses, it's just a game. The gal game thing from earlier. Reine and Shido are about to kiss. No, she was just giving him an AirPod. How'd she get one of those, actually? Shido is about to begin his second phase of training. After playing the gal games, he has to actually hit on a woman in real life. Hope you brought your notes, boys. Anyway, so the practice partner, who has no idea about spirits and whatnot, is his sensei, Tama-chan. And he has to make her fall in love with him as practice. Shido fails at complimenting her, and Reine steps in to help. Reine's instructions seem to be a little too effective, as Tama now wants to marry Shido and have 2 kids and have their parents move in with them, although she'd be in her 30s when he graduates. Shido, just like any other man in that situation, bolts away, but the lucky perv crashes into Origami, and we see a flash of light, prompting a nosebleed, because I think that means she was going commando. Via AirPod, Kotori instructs Shido to flirt with Origami with Reine's assistance. We get to see Shido confess that he sniffs Origami's PE uniform after school. I know you're gonna say gross, but he was just saying exactly what Reine told him to say. To our surprise, Origami also sniffs his PE shorts after school, but she don't got an AirPod in. Shido asks her out, and she mistakes it for him asking her to date, and she agrees. Isn't that exactly what that means? What is there to mistake? While giving him an autographed picture of herself. Well, that's considerate. Before anything gets weirder, the space quake alarm goes off, and according to data from Fraxinus, the quake was about to occur at Ryzen High School, where our characters attended. Origami and the AST allies arrive. They can't attack a spirit who had appeared because they aren't suited for indoor combat somehow. The spirit is the same one we met earlier, and is identified with the code name Princess. Now, all Shido has to do is make Princess fall in love with him, but he won't do it alone. He has the backings of Rotarisker, Fraxinus' crew. Ha ha! We're saved! Although the crew is kind of made up of a divorcee, an otaku, and a cult fan, an incubus, and a deep lover. We're saved. Shido faces Princess, and the moment she lays on him, she sends a powerful wave attack against him, splitting the building. Come on, what is it with splitting buildings, fricker? She demands his name, and the Fraxinus crew gets to work. Their job is simple. They analyze anomalies in a spirit and consider 3 options for courting said spirit. The team members then vote on what option they think is best. Just like a real-life gal game, or dating sim, whatever the frick. However, the 3rd option they voted on doesn't work, and Princess spams more attacks at Shido. He's frickin' doomed. He tells Princess his name, and she instantly recognizes him as the human who doesn't want to kill her. She asks him why he has come to see her if he doesn't want to kill her. And thus the flirting operation commences. Following the options provided by the Fraxinus crew, Shido tries to flirt with her by telling her he wants to make love with her. I don't remember that. Anyway, Shido doesn't like the sad expression she has and promises her he won't leave her or reject her or anything like that, or try to kill her, that too. She's swayed and convinced, and now all he has to do is give her a name. He names her Toka because they met on the 10th of April. I think it's April. It's some Japanese kanji shenanigans, y'all. Their moment of peace is cut short by the AST, who rains a barrage of bullets on her. She asks Shido to leave, but he refuses. He asks her to date him, but before he has an opportunity to explain what he means, Origami swoops in, thinking Toka is holding Shido hostage. Origami is hospitalized immediately. The following day, Shido runs into Toka again, and he asks her to take off her clothes. Change into simple human clothes. So, that kind of involves taking off her clothes. But no, she actually just materializes new clothes based off of just looking at a picture. That never happens again, mind you. The two now begin their date. Toka takes a bite out of Shido's tasty thick meat, and I put that in the worst way possible, and calls that a date. Like, the meat itself. That's a date. Toka thinks food is dating, but it'll have to be up to Shido to show her what dating truly is. While Toka's busy stuffing her cheeks with food in a way that would make the best head givers jealous, Origami and the AST are beginning to make their move. After turning down the option of betting Toka in a love hotel, because that's not right, the two run away, while Origami punches a statue's mouth to put on her armor. That also never happens again, mind you. Our couple rushes into an arcade due to an unexpected rainfall downpour thingy-mabobber. By working together, they get Toka a stuffed toy. After the date, the two of them are caught up in bliss, completely unaware that they're being sniped by Origami as she waits for further instructions from the ASTHQ to take out Toka. No, not the date kind, the kill kind. Seeing how beautiful the world is and how kind humans were to her, Toka now understands why the AST is trying to kill her, because she brings space quakes with her, and that destroys this beautiful world. Toka convinces her that she should remain in the world no matter what. Toka is moved and is about to take his hand, accepting his offer after a really heartfelt speech, when Origami finally gets the orders to pull the trigger. Shido pushes Toka out of the way, somehow knowing that the bullet was on its way, and the bullet found its mark in Shido's head. Toka is devastated and summons Adonai Malik, her spirit armor, and Sandalfon, her sword, which morphs into Halvanheliv. Judging by how big it is, you can tell why the name is such a mouthful. A much deadlier version of her sword. She splits the cliff where Origami is located. At least it isn't a building this time, and Origami doesn't attempt to move, as she realizes she had just killed Shido. While the Fractionist team focuses on evacuating the citizens, Shido revives. Okay, what, he can do that? That would have been great to know. And it seemed like Kotori knew that the whole time. Meanwhile, Toka is launching attack after attack against the semi-defenseless Origami. She's about to deliver the final blow when Shido falls from the sky like a frickin' wuss. How is that happening? Oh, because Shido was teleported up back to Fractionist and then dropped from the ship. This poor guy, man. Toka catches him and is overwhelmed with relief as he's alive. However, the reunion is interrupted as they notice that Toka has lost control over Halvanheliv. Oh my gosh, I hope I don't have to pronounce this again. Kotori instructs Shido to kiss Toka as a way to stop Halvanheliv. They kiss so hard that she starts taking off her clothes involuntarily. And again, I put it in the worst way possible. The armor just disappears along with the sword, okay? So the town is safe now, and Toka's looking forward to their next date. And thus, we have the gameplay loop. It's pouring, and Shido seeks shelter at a nearby shrine. He notices a young girl frolicking in the rain, and she slips and falls, and he rushes over to see if she needs help, but she requests that he doesn't touch her in the most cutest way you've ever seen. At school, Shido's confronted by Toka, who wants to give him cookies she baked, and Origami, who apologizes for shooting him, literally killing him, I thought. On his way back home, it's raining again, and he stops by the same shrine, but doesn't notice the weird rabbit thing looking at him. He arrives home and is about to take a shower when he notices Toka in the bathroom. Confused, he demands an explanation from Kotori. Kotori and Rene tell him that Toka is here for her aftercare. They also explain to him that after making the spirits fall for him when he kisses them, their powers are sealed. Although they have no idea why he has such an ability, Toka has to stay with him until a special place is built for her, as there's a chance her sealed powers may return. They also inform him that there are other spirits around and they need him to improve his ability to talk and flirt with girls. His training begins as he tries to get used to the fact that Toka is a new member of the house, which involves both of them getting naked and Toka drowning him in the bath. What a lucky man. The following day at school, Toka and Origami have developed a sort of rivalry concerning the affection of Shido. Origami notices that the two have begun living with each other as she creepily explains how she came to that conclusion. But I'm gonna do you a favor and not give you that explanation, because there's another spacequake alert, ladies and gents, and Shido leaps into action, but leaves Toka behind in order not to stress her out about fighting between spirits and AST and all that garbage. At Fractionist, Shido is briefed about his next spirit. She's a docile spirit known as Hermit. However, Shido recognizes her as the girl from 2 days ago with the weird bunny thing. The AST locate Hermit, who I might have not mentioned is a girl who looks no older than 8. Man, we're gonna get shut down for this, dude. And you know what? We fracking deserve it. There's no way she's actually, okay, she's not actually 8. She's just a lolly. The AST don't care, however, and begin to open full fire on her. Holy frick, it's just a child. She's not even fighting back, y'all. She's trying to run away. Shido is shocked at the animalism of the AST and decides to save her. Yeah, no kidding. Shido's dropping in Fortnite style into the building where Hermit was seen entering. He's surprised by that creepy bunny thing that was peeping at him earlier, who asks him if he's here to bully Yoshino. On further inspection, the bunny thing seems to be a hand puppet on Hermit's left hand. The bunny thing recognizes him as the lucky pervert from the shrine. Before Shido could defend himself, the Fractionist crew give him a list of choices and ask him to choose the third, using Tonomachi as a reference. The bunny thing doesn't dislike it and even laughs about it. The bunny introduces Yoshino Yoshinon as Yoshinon. Okay. Shido, as confused as we all are, asks if that's the name of the puppet or the hermit. Also, that was the most redundant thing I've ever heard. Hermit doesn't like the fact that he referred to the bunny as a puppet, and her mood sinks instantly. He fixes it though and asks her to date him. Oh man, that fast? Origami and the AST gang aren't clear to flush the building, as Hermit is referred to as the cowardly spirit. I guess that's good news. Toka, after understanding how dangerous the space quakes are, goes out to look for Shido, and now we got some bad news. While trying to look cool, Hermit tries to balance on a height, but falls on Shido, resulting in both of them kissing. Oh, okay, good news then. However, her mood meter depletes, and even worse, Toka has witnessed Shido kissing another girl. And that's the worst news ever possible. Toka's powers are turned out of jealousy, and she demands an explanation. The bunny makes things worse by telling her that Shido now prefers Yoshinon to Toka. Oh, so Yoshinon is the puppet, and Yoshino is the hermit. Okay. Furious, Toka removes the bunny thing from her, I mean Yoshino, and tells the bunny that she, Toka, deserves to be by Shido's side. Although she is surprised the bunny is no longer replying. Yoshino begs Toka to give it back, and Shido does too, but Toka misinterprets it as Shido preferring Yoshino over her. Yoshino's furious and summons Zadkill, her weapon or angel, just like Toka's Sandalphon. Using Zadkill, she attacks Shido and Toka and escapes. Unknown to her, the AST are waiting for her outside, and they begin to attack. She escapes by creating a snow diversion, although leaving something behind. Toka is still very upset at Shido over his preference of Yoshino over her. Itsuka and Toka has returned home, but she refuses to speak to him. Yoshino is also returned to the shrine. She's lost Yoshinon. At a cafe, Reine tries to figure out why Toka is upset with Shido. I mean, really, Fricker? You don't know why? Shido's on his way back from grocery shopping when he notices Yoshino. He also realizes that she lost her puppet, and she seems to be looking for it. Back at the cafe, Toka assumes something is wrong with her for getting upset about seeing Shido with another girl. With the Fraxinus team on her side, Shido decides to help Yoshino look for her puppet. However, she informs him that her name is Yoshino, and Yoshinon is the name of her friend. Yeah, okay, like, we pieced that together a long time ago. Reine clears up the misunderstanding that Toka has about Shido. Shido and Yoshino are going through the rubble of the previous days' incident when her stomach starts growling. Since all the nearby shops are closed, he invites her to his place. While there, he asks her what the Yoshinon means to her. She explains to her that Yoshinon is a hero, her role model, and everything she's ever wanted to be. Also, did she just call the puppet a he? Anyway, our man just casually scores a hard point with her, and Fraxinus has already acquired footage of the puppet. Shido tries to inquire why Yoshino doesn't fight back when the AST attack, and her reason is because she doesn't like painful or scary things, and she assumes the AST wouldn't like it either. She further explains that she's just fracking weak too, and she hates remaining alone, because she'd just go crazy. She's about to burst into tears when Shido gives her a head rub and promises to be her hero. Yoshino, I'll save you, because that's what I do. I'm a hero. All mine. Sorry. Wrong recap. I know that was cringe. All right, okay, I'm sorry. I just couldn't help it, man. Look, we're already about fucking 18 minutes into this recap, all right? I'm going slightly cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Anyways, he apologizes for kissing her before, accidentally, and she inquires what a kiss is. As he explains, they lean closer together, and then Toka bursts in. Facepalm moment. Could she have any worse timing? Kotori calls in and tells him they found where the puppet is. It's with Tobiichi Origami. He goes over to her place and she gives him something weird and calls it tea. After having a sip, he collapses and gets on him to start grinding against. Oh my gosh, call me horny. She just has a request to be simply addressed as Origami by him. He agrees to the request and she proceeds to take a shower. While she's in the shower, he searches for the puppet. He finds it in the panty drawer. I mean on her drawer, not in. She exits the shower with nothing but a towel on and sits near Shido. Maybe this is just me, but I think this girl might just be a hentai. Meanwhile, back on Fraxinus, the team still can't get through to Shido, as Origami's house has a jamming device so powerful that even the AST HQ can't pull it off. In Origami's love nest, she inquires what exactly Shido is, as she is certain she killed him before. Yeah, I'm asking that too, dude. He dodges the question and tries to convince her not to kill the spirits, but rather accept them. The nice ones, like Yoshino and Toka. And of course, she disagrees. Her phone goes off, indicating there's a mission. She, however, convinces Shido that she won't attack a spirit that's lost their powers, for some reason. Yoshino is being attacked by the AST and is knocked to the ground. Desperately, she summons Zadkiel, with which she freezes the surrounding area and the fields of 2 AST members. She escapes and encounters Shido. Origami attacks her again, and a member of the AST tells Shido to evacuate. Yoshino is scared due to the barrage of attacks and charges Zadkiel's attack. Toka notices this and frantically tries to summon Sandalphon. She succeeds at the last possible minute. Shido asks her for help in saving Yoshino. He convinces her that he only wants to save her, just the same way that he saved Toka. Meanwhile, Yoshino's created an absolute defense and the AST can't break through it. Origami attempts to crush her but is thwarted by Toka. The two engage in battle and the AST switch targets to Toka again. Shido arrives at Yoshino's absolute defense and steels himself to walk right through razor-sharp icicles, depending solely on his fast recovery, all against Kotori's pleas. Again, Kotori is seeming like she knows a lot more about this power than anyone else does. He actually makes it through the ice frickery, because of course he does, although sustaining multiple injuries. Thankfully, thanks to the weird tea from Origami, his healing kicks in fast and he returns the puppet to her. What was in that tea? She thanks him in tears and he promises to help her control Zadkiel. She kisses him and she becomes naked. Frickin' not the kid too, man. Wait, is that the sound of sirens? Oh, it's in the show. It's the sound of explosions. Woo! The AST seem to be under attack, dude. I thought I was about to die. Anyways, not our problem. On the Frex, and Shido calls in to tell Kotori that he'd be visiting a hot springs with Yoshino and Toka. Yes, boys, it's a hot springs episode. Fan service time, and we're only 22 minutes into a recap. This recap is as long as an actual anime episode, mind you. Can I please get a like button, please, man? Wait, I have a like button. Can you please hit the like button? Kanazuki, Kotori's second in command, tries to convince her to join Shido for the hot spring, although his intention is to capture every inch of her underdeveloped body with his autonomous cameras. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Give me a second. Hello? Oh. Police? Meanwhile, at the AST HQ, the DEM Corporation is sending backup troops. The captain of the AST is pissed, but is excited about the company trip to the hot springs. However, due to the level of spirit attacks, the trip is canceled. The military girls want to celebrate the captain, so they inform her about a trip to Tengu Gokoraku Hot Springs, which I may mention is the same place Shido and the gang are heading to right this very moment. Origami objects to the idea, but changes her mind when she discovers that Shido is heading the same way, and suddenly, she's already on her way there. Shido and the girls are on their way to the hot springs. Toka is regretting her decision to ride shotgun as Shido is focused on pampering Yoshino and Yoshinan. Out of frustration and mostly jealousy, Toka stomps against the floorboard of the car and she actually stomps right through it. As stomping through the floorboard of a car would do, she stomps right through to the road itself and collapses the road. The AST team is also on their way with Origami, not dressed in a way that explains she's on her way to a hot spring. They're literally stopped in their tracks due to a collapse of the tunnel. I wonder how that happened. While Shido comforts Toka, the Frex and his team detect the AST and assume the AST want to attack Toka and Yoshino. With multiple truck coons, broken bridges, construction work, and raging bulls, the AST are prevented from going to the hot springs of their desires. Meanwhile, Shido and the girls encounter Kotori, who claims she's watching over them like a frickin' guardian angel. But Shido catches on that she wants to accompany them and invites her. She's about to accept when the Frex and his team calls her. Our swimsuit warriors, the AST, encounter a literal steel wall, which happens to explode on its own without the captain doing frackin' anything. Kotori has a visual on the AST and instruct Date Town to enter battle mode. Permission to open fire, and then it begins. It starts with a missile that covers our warriors in nets and sticky goo. Takoyaki and kebabs with destructive powers of bombs being flung at them. Stun gun teddy bears to, stun them, and sunseed oil to reduce their friction. The AST captain orders the girls to return fire, resulting in damages of multiple killer shops. A missile drops some meters away from Shido and the girls, sending Yoshinan flying. Shido goes to look for him in order to calm the crying Yoshino, whose weeping is causing freezing rain. Literally. Kotori instructs the Fractionist team to enter destruction mode as the AST is catching up with the gang at an insane speed. Destruction mode, but to see that the AST girls in some kinky udon bondage play, and I don't know how that happened. The captain loses her frackin' marbles and begins to spam Gatling gun and bomb attacks and instructs the girls to do the same, or else she she'd run the remaining mags up their behinds. Shido's at the war scene, and while ignoring the rantings of the AST captain, he looks for Yoshinon, and he finds him amongst the rubble. The Fractionist team drop a massive green fruit thingy. I'm just gonna call it a lettuce. The bomb lettuce is about to crush Shido, and Kotani tries to call off the attack. The lettuce makes contact, but Toka has deployed a shield protecting him. What kind of Hot Springs episode is this? Alas, the war is over, and the AST girls and I are scared of the captain now. Shido and the gang make it to the hot spring when all of a sudden Yoshinon loses his head. The AST girls have also made it to the hot springs. Their bath towels simply suggest it's the moment we've been waiting for. Fan service time. 3 of the AST jump into the pool, but are frozen instantly. Again, what kind of hot spring episode is this? I have waited over 20 minutes for this. Just to get this. Konosuke was sent to dig a hole as a punishment by Kotori much earlier in the episode and had successfully dug up a hot spring. Shido and the gang finally have the opportunity to relax. However, the backup from the DEM Corporation has finally arrived. The corporation that the AST are under. Oh, and that figure does not look friendly. Who is this chick? Well, we'll find out in the next recap, because my voice can't take much more of this. So if y'all enjoyed the extra beefy recap today, please let us know by hitting the like button. Drop a subscribe if you want to see more recaps of normal size, and check out the other recap channels, because we have 4 Mr. Recap channels for reasons that fleet me as of this moment, but check them out if you want more recap content. All right, cool. I'm gonna go fracking to jail now. I'll see y'all later. Love y'all. Peace.